Good morning, children, and welcome to all of you in online classes. Dear students, we are discussing the fourth poem of Flamingo book, and the name of poem is A Thing of Beauty, which is composed by one of the renowned poet of English literature, whose name is Mr. John Keats. Dear students, John Keats was a very famous, popular, and renowned poet of English literature. He has given a great contribution in English literature. Mr. John Keats was born on 31st October 1795 and at Moorgate, one of the city of London, situated in UK. And he died on 23rd February 1821 at Rome in Italy. Dear students, Mr. John Keats only spent 26 years of his life in this world. But in this short span of time, in this short duration of time, he contributed a lot in the field of literature. Mr. John Keats, as I have told you in previous video yesterday, that he started his career as a surgeon, but he was not satisfied with that, or he was fascinated and attracted by the poetry and became one of the greatest romantic poet of second generation in English literature. Dear students, his odes are immortal, and his odes are immortal contribution in English poetry. His poetry is pictorial and sensuous. It is inspired by passion for beauty. This poem, A Thing of Beauty, has been taken from his one of the famous creation, and the name of poem is Endymion. That is almost in 1000 lines, and it consists in 1000 lines and given in 4 books. There are many other famous poems like Ode to Nightingale, Ode to Gracious Urn. These are the well-known poems of English literature composed by Mr. John Keats. One more major fact I want to tell you about Mr. John Keats, that his life was full of trouble, full of difficulties, and his father died only when Mr. John Keats was only 9 years old. And unfortunately, his mother also died when he was 14 years old, and she was suffering from tuberculosis. His brother suffered in the same way by the same disease, and unfortunately this well-known poet Mr. John Keats also died in age of 26 by the same disease, tuberculosis. But in this 26 years of his life, he has given a very great contribution in the field of English literature. Yesterday, dear children, I have told you the summary of poem A Thing of Beauty, which is a very beautiful poem taken from his famous book, famous poem Endymion. Dear students, I will tell you today the explanation of stanza 1. But before starting this lesson, this stanza 1, I want to tell you, dear children, I want to tell you about one of the crucial and important question which is given in the beginning of poem before you read. And the question is, what pleasure does a beautiful thing give us? Dear students, beautiful things give us aesthetic pleasure, or they soothe our mind, they give us reposeness, they give us peace. Even their memory is enchanting. The second part of the question is, are beautiful things worth treasuring? Obviously, yes. Beautiful things are worth treasuring. We should keep safely the beautiful things, because they give us joy, they give us happiness, they give us good health. So it is worth treasuring to the beautiful things. Now we will discuss about stanza 1. A thing, and first I will read the stanza and then I will tell you the explanation. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us, and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. So this is the first stanza. In this first stanza, dear students, there are several difficult words like forever, everlasting, loveliness, beauty, pass into nothingness, end or disappear, bore, shady enclosures, shady place. Or in this first stanza of the poem, poet John Keats says, John Keats tells us the qualities of a thing of beauty, a real beautiful object. Or he says in first line that a thing of beauty gives us everlasting joy. The joy which is never ended, the joy which is never finished. So it is the first quality and first characteristics of a thing of beauty, or a beautiful object, or a real beautiful object, that it gives everlasting joy to us. The joy which is never ended, which is never finished. The second point he tells us that its loveliness increases. If the thing is really a beautiful object, if that particular object is really a beautiful thing, so dear students, the beauty of such true beautiful objects increases with the passage of time. You cannot say, I am not talking about the transitory beauty. I am not talking about the objects that's beauty decreases with the passage of time. I am talking about, the poet is talking and telling us about such objects which are really an example of true beauty. And if that object is really an example of true beauty, so its beauty, its loveliness increases with the passage of time. The third thing he says, that it will never pass into nothingness. The third characteristics, that the beauty of real beautiful object never reaches to the end point. It never reaches to the end point. It is never disappeared. If the thing is really beautiful, if the object is really beautiful, so it never reaches to the end point, it never reaches to the nothingness, or its beauty increases with the passage of time. And third point, he says that if the beautiful object or a thing of beauty keeps a shady and peaceful place for us, bower, a shady enclosure. Not only this much, the poet further says, dear students, if we are in contact and in touch of beautiful object, a thing of beauty, so the good quality and the fourth quality of this a thing of beauty, that it gives good sleep to us. Not only this much, dear students, but in such good sleep we get good dreams also. To sleep with good dreams, this is the actual and real quality of a thing of beauty. Not only this much, dear children, but that a thing of beauty or a real beautiful object gives us good sleep also. Not only this much, good dreams also, or apart from these things, good things, it gives good health also. Whenever you are in contact, you are in touch of beautiful object or a thing of beauty, so you will obviously get good sleep, good dreams, and besides that, you will get good health also. Not only this much, if the person is in touch of beautiful objects, in contact of a thing of beauty, so he gets quiet breathing, he gets reposeness. So these are the qualities, these are the characteristics of a thing of beauty. First, gives everlasting joy, which is never ended. Second, its beauty increases with the passage of time. Third, it never reaches to nothingness, to the end point. And it keeps a bower place, a peaceful, shady place for us. It gives good health. It gives good sleep, it with good dreams, or it gives reposeness. and peace to us. If such qualities are present in any object, so we can surely and certainly say that it is in category of a thing of beauty or a real beautiful object. So this is all about, dear students, about the first stanza. I hope you have understood well. And we will discuss about the second stanza of this poem tomorrow in the next video. Thank you, dear children.